CEO Money is sponsored by WF News 1 Incorporated. Views and opinions heard on CEO Money are not necessarily the opinion of this station or its management. Material on this program is intended for general information only and should not be taken as specific investment, tax, or legal advice.
Welcome to CEO Money with your hosts Michael Yorba and Mervyn Price, interviewing private and publicly traded industry titans. It's a fast-paced show focusing on CEO achievement stories, industry breakthroughs, disruptive technology, and emerging growth companies. CEO Money keeps you ahead of the curve on private and public equity trends you can't get anywhere else. We deliver tomorrow's trade today. And now, here's your hosts, Michael Yorba and Mervyn Price.
Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, with Mervyn Price, co-host. Mervyn, welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Thank you, Michael.
All right, and we have Tommy Habib. He's going to sit in with us and co-host with us. Tommy, welcome back.
Thank you, Michael. Happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. All right, our first guest is David D'Arcangelo, founder of The Secret Asset, secretasset.com. David, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Great, Michael. Happy to be here.
All right, David, there's a lot of people that know you, but only a few don't. For those that don't, could you give us a background on who you are, what your company does, and obviously tell us a little bit about the book, too?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I spent a lot of years in the financial business, going all the way back to when Tony Robbins and I were partners in a group called Financial Destiny Companies, and really the whole idea was to get the message out, you know, of life insurance as an asset, of how to, you know, I learned a long time ago that, you know, people don't like making life insurance decisions. They like making business decisions. And when you mathematically break down a life insurance product, you know, we found this incredible area of tax-free benefits that the IRS has given all of us the opportunity, and it's our job to discover that, and what we did is break it down. So we took that and mass marketed it, and eventually took over that company and sold it to a division of a New York Stock Exchange firm, and have continued on in the space and have gotten in and out of the business over the years for one reason or another, and just continue to move on and build assets. But I think today, the secret asset, when I came back into the business in 2005, it was amazing to me that they hadn't taken away these incredible benefits, and that life insurance wasn't the life insurance that you bury in your drawer anymore. That if you go into the software and design this product, it can become, and it deserves a place in your portfolio as an asset. And there's nothing, I believe, that I've seen, as a hedge fund manager said to me one day, he said, Dave, I can't make this type of money on a risk-adjusted basis in my own fund. So that the secret asset is just a great story. I came back in the business. I said, I got to tell this story to the people. What's the best way to tell a life insurance investment-grade story to people about life insurance without putting them to sleep? And the answer was to take my Italian family that we grew up with back east and put them in the book as characters and live and follow that thought process and decision-making of what this family did over 3 generations to generate over $100 million tax-free with using this type of design with life insurance.
Now, that is exciting. That brings a whole new color to insurance. I was looking through some of the topics here about what it is that you're doing, and one thing comes to mind. How do you buy life insurance at net zero cost or to make a profit? I mean, how does that happen? That's exciting. That's something hedge funds would love to know too.
Oh, it's just a beautiful thing. Everybody has to understand it. Life insurance, there's retail and there's wholesale, and everybody's used to buying retail. And I always say to them is you don't. I've talked to you for 5 minutes. You don't seem like a retail buyer, but I look at your policies. Why'd you buy retail? And so what I mean by that is it's software. All the companies give you software. If you're mathematically strong and you really understand these products, and there's a small, significant group in this country that do, then you can go into like any software and you push the the lazy person's window aside, where the person says to you, oh, you're going to die, and, your family's not going to have any money. You need some life insurance, and what's your name, and what's your birth date, and how much do you want? That's retail. They put it in, they press the button, it comes up, and they tell you the price, and nobody ever got the best price that way. That's retail. You push that window aside. There's hundreds of variables of which I can sit here and design almost any product. And I can push it and pull it and design it. So what I'm trying to do is swing the pendulum, the mathematics, the tax-free gains, the potential benefits. I want to swing that pendulum from the insurance company side over to the consumer side, and that's where it breaks wide open, and that's what the secret asset is all about.
Let's drill down into that. I'm sure people are wondering, okay, it's one thing to say it, but how does that work? I mean, how do you swap a pricey term policy for an investment grade policy?
Okay, so let me give you a great example. Is everybody always thinks the life insurance person is, they have these big commissions and they just want to make this money. And I'll give you an example of mathematically when you really understand this. Somebody comes into my office and he worked for AAA, and he bought life insurance through AAA, and he come in, he showed me his policies, a young guy, 40, and he said, what would you do to help me and my wife and our 4 children? I said, look, these policies are Endow at 100 policies. He said, what's that mean? I said, that means the insurance company calculated the premium so that the cash in your policy, your cash, if you lived to 100 and you bought $1 million policy, you would have $1 million of cash. So that cash is yours. You can quit and take it. But if you die, I said, your beneficiaries get $1 million, but who gets the $1 million of cash? He said, I don't know. I said, the insurance company keeps it. So really, they gave you $1 million of your own money.
Yep.
I said, that was your money they gave your family. And if you died at age 70 or 80, maybe there's $500,000 of cash, and there's $1 million death benefit, because in these policies that, these are not term policies, these are permanent policies. So there's ways. So he sat there and he goes, what do you recommend? I said, look, you and your wife buy some great term insurance, the cheapest. It's been the cheapest that it's been in my 40 years in the business. I said, then that allows you to save money. And he goes, well, yeah, then I could invest it. I said, yeah, you're going to invest it by buying policies on your parents or grandparents or your in-laws.
Dave, I hate to interrupt, but we only have another 4 minutes or maybe 3 minutes, and Merv has some pending questions.
Good.
I want to bring him in, let him get to some of his questions.
Hello, David. How are you?
Hi, very good, thank you.
Well, I'm embarrassed to say that I'm the retail buyer, and I've flicked through your book, and I'm shamefaced. So how do you make money with life insurance policies I already own? How can I do that?
Well, you can make policies there's a couple areas. You buy policies on parents or in-laws so that every generation wants to help the next generation. Some just don't have the money or don't want to pay the premium. So you buy policies on prior generations. I just had a person who bought a policy on their mom, 81 years old. She passed away at 85. He made 39% internal rate of return tax-free every year for 5 years on the policy. His mom wanted to help the kids. The kids wanted to buy a policy on mom. She said it was great. She actually gifted them and paid half the premium, and him and his sister paid the other half. That's one way. It helps build legacy.
David, what about estate tax? I mean, that's frightening everyone.
And we've got really about a minute left.
Yeah. Well, so with estate taxes, not a lot of people, for the people who have an estate tax issue, you gift the money out of your estate, the premiums. The kids buy the policy on the parents at 10 cents or 20 cents on the dollar. When the parents pass, the second parent passes, the kids collect the money tax-free. So maybe they put up 20 cents for every dollar they get in life insurance benefit. They can pay the estate tax and then take all the assets from the parents.
I see. That's very interesting. Now, is there a net qualifier? Do I have to have X amount of money in the bank or earn X amount of money to qualify for this program?
Just about anybody can buy about a $500,000 worth, and then if you buy, the people who buy $2, $5, $10, $20, $30 million worth of life, you have to qualify. You have to have a reason, and you have to prove that there's some loss that you're going to sustain.
David, I want to thank you for being on the show. We did not have near enough time to cover the topics. TheSecretAsset.com, that's the best place for everybody to reach you?
Yes.
All right, David.
SecretAsset.com.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yep, my pleasure.
My pleasure. David D'Arcangelo, founder of The Secret Asset, thesecretasset.com. You've been listening to Mervyn Price, Michael Yorba on CEO Money. Up next, James West, CEO, Midas Letter. We'll be right back.